On August 22, Fitch Ratings Agency downgraded three Ghanaian banks to junk status few weeks after downgrading the country's long-term issuer default rating to CCC from B-. The agency announced the downgrade of Ecobank Ghana Limited, Guarantee Trust Bank Limited, and UBA Ghana Limited's viability ratings from B- to CCC. The company also affirmed the shareholder support ratings of Ecobank Ghana at CCC Plus and of GTB Ghana and UBA Ghana at B-. Furthermore, Fitch downgraded the long-term IDR of Ecobank Ghana to CCC Plus from B-, while those of GTB Ghana and UBA Ghana have been affirmed at B-. The outlook on the long-term IDRs is stable. Fitch has simultaneously withdrawn Ecobank Ghana's ratings for commercial reasons and will no longer provide ratings and analytical coverage for Ecobank Ghana. Banking and corporate governance consultant Dr. Richmond Atuahene, speaking to Citi Business News on this development, explained that the overdependence on the underperforming government bonds and bills caused the downgrade of the banks.
When a country is downgraded, any bond or bill, any gilt-held security issued by the government too is downgraded. And when they say it's downgraded, it means that these banks were deriving income from their bonds. Some of them bought the bonds and the bills and what have you. But there was a lot of concentration by the three banks in it. Three banks actually were more involved in the government bonds and the bills. So meaning that when the country is downgraded, definitely the investment too would have to be downgraded. And in so saying, it means that should government default in paying the debt, and possibly not the interest, it would affect the balance sheet of the three banks that have been selected. So literally, if I want to explain, I say it reflects on the concentration of their operation on the government bonds and bills, which they derive a lot of revenue income from it. So if the government itself and hence the Bank of Ghana bonds and government bonds have been downgraded, literally, internationally, it means that the returns would also be downgraded if the government is not able to pay the interest on the bonds.
Dr. Atuahene further shared the opinion that the downgrade will not affect the patronage of the banks.
Well, it depends. Information asymmetry. A lot of we Ghanaians do not know the ramification of this downgrading and the possible default of the bills. If a lot of us were aware or consciously aware, then it could have affected the confidence in the system. But information asymmetry in Ghana is very high. How many of us actually read what I'm saying, what I have read and what I read into literature and find out? How many of us do? So a lot of information asymmetry helps us not to know much about what is going on. So that would actually help us not to affect the banking sector.